Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Crypto Warehouse Friday morning news show. We've made it to the end of the week. We've had a lot of drama this week. We've had a lot of trauma this week, but we are still here. So we have got a busy show today, but it's a Friday, so we're going to take our time. We're going to go through any questions you've got, ask them in chat. I've already got a couple here, one from Tariq, and another one on another platform that I'm going to answer shortly. What are we going to talk about today? Well, first of all, the headline of the show, the end is nigh. What could possibly be nigh? Well, you will find out later on. We have got the usual X-Files. We're going to talk about build. And no, I haven't misspelt it. It is spelt B-U-I-D-L. We're going to talk about a 500,000 Bitcoin target. Are they talking through their backsides, or is that a realistic target for the end of this bull run? Two to watch. There's two tokens highlighted by one of these so-called crypto experts, which I'm going to look at, particularly one of them that is one of my favorites. We're going to look at Charles Hoskinson's 2030 predictions. What has Crazy Man Charles got to say about the future? Then we're going to look at NVIDIA again. Not a mistype. NVID AI. We're going to be talking about NVIDIA's AI predictions and then our final thoughts. So that's what we're going to do in today's show. I am not going to bolt through the show today. We are going to take our time. Now, one of the platforms, they have very unusual usernames. So when somebody called WYY31XZRO wishes me a good morning to you, sir or madam. Unfortunately, there is literally no way to pronounce your name without sounding like Yoda, so I'm not even going to bother, but thank you for saying hello. And before we do anything, before we answer any questions, good morning to Tariq, good morning to Kishan. Hidden Agendas is out there as well. Good morning to you all. Let's have a quick look then, before we get into anything, at where we are with the prices. The market cap is down 1%, 2.51 trillion. It was 2.55 or so yesterday. The volumes dropped significantly, 110 billion. We were looking at 130, 150 billion. Why does that matter? Because a drop in volume indicates that trading is falling off. We spike over 200 billion in a kind of, when we hit a frenzy, we drop below 150 billion when the markets are recovering. And I think the markets are recovering at the minute. Dominance, again, nothing else to report. Bitcoin dominance is down about 1% in the last couple of weeks. Ethereum dominance has also faded. Good morning, Tataland. Welcome to the stream. Bitcoin then coming in just over $65,500. Ethereum just under $3,500. And gainers and losers. What has made our day? Phantom, not a fan of the project. That's up 11%. ICP, I am a fan of. That is up 10%. Ronin is up 10%. Ton is up. Again, not a huge fan of that token at this moment in time. Doge sitting at 16 cents. My target to sell Doge was 19 cents a few weeks ago. We hit that. I would have sold out of my Doge position at 19 cents. So I'm not a long-term fan of Doge. Stacks, remember Stacks, layer 2 connected to Bitcoin. That is probably going to do quite well. Maybe we're going to see a $10 stacks, $15 stacks, $20 stacks in the bull run. But as always, go and do your own research. Now, what has been crushed? BitTenza is down. Floki, Dupe is down a little bit, $1.22. Sol is down to 176. Remember, we have a couple of different levels of support and resistance for Sol, and my level of support is 174. 174 is a good number for Sol right now. We don't want it to rip up trees. We are way too early in the bull run for any of that kind of nonsense. Arbitrum is at 166. It's down 5%. Last time I read out Arbitrum, it was at 166. So I imagine it's just deja vu. FET is having a pullback. Remember, $2.53. This token was at 70 cents 3 months ago, 4 months ago. It's absolutely rocketed. So expect, with these tokens, it's good for them to hold out at these levels. So if it goes from 70 cents to $2.60, $2.70, and then it holds 250, 260 for 2, 3, 4 weeks and builds up a kind of support there, it means that the coin can hold its value at that price. So it's never a bad thing to buy into Fetch and hold it at $2.40, expecting it to go to $10 and it not move for a couple of weeks. It's not a bad sign. It's just waiting for the next leg up. Hopefully when Bitcoin moves up, then it will move up. Bitcoin cash is down a little bit. Nothing else really to report. So the couple of questions that I've been asked in chat that we're going to go through before we get onto the X-Files then. The first one is about Jupiter. Will this more dump, or is it the last bottom of Bitcoin? There is never a last bottom of Bitcoin. Bitcoin always finds a way of catching people by surprise. This time next week, we could be at $78,000. This time next week, we could be at $58,000. There is really nobody with a crystal ball. In my opinion, the dip that we've just had is the lowest we will go in terms of percentage dips. So we've dropped 15% or 16% or something around that amount. And I think if we have another dip, maybe we hit $80,000 and retrace. I think if we hit $80,000 and retrace, we would come back to about 65,000, 64,000. So I think 20% dips at this stage of the market are not out of the ordinary. But we don't expect to see them every week because you'll end up getting PTSD about them. Now, Tariq has asked a question about Jupiter. And for those of you that do not know, Jupiter is a DAO on the, is it jupe.ag? So Jupiter is an aggregator on the Solana blockchain, and they have a DAO, and a DAO votes for tokens to be launched on Jupiter. There was one 2.5 weeks ago, and 2 tokens were dropped. One I'm incredibly excited about that I've made a video about on YouTube, which is a Solana Bitcoin project that allows you to tap into the liquidity of Bitcoin on Solana. I think it's going to be a huge project. It's called Zeus. It's called Zeus. I made a video about it. It's only about an 8 or 10 minute video. Make sure to go and watch that video on Zeus. It's very exciting. That token is coming out on the 4th of April. 4-4. Coming out on the 4th of April. That won by a landslide the last DAO vote. Let me see if I can bring that up. Vote.jupe.ag. I think this is the website. There we go. Okay. So if we go to here, just to show you, this was the round 1 of voting. Is it not going to give me the breakdown? It's not going to give me the breakdown. Well, the second round. So this was round 1. This was the 10th of March. We are almost 2 weeks later, and round 2 has started. So what you do if you hold Jupe and you've staked it and you've voted, I know a lot of people watching have got Jupe because they've been following us for a while. You need to go to the research center on Jupiter, and in there you will see the latest projects that are going into the second round. So the second round will begin when the Q&A section has finished. There's a lot of AMAs and there's a lot of work that goes into these votes. So the best place to bookmark is the research center. Go and have a look over there on Jupiter. And that is pretty much all you need to know. The second round started yesterday. The AMAs are starting today. So the AMAs are with the projects that want your vote. So you can either watch the AMAs, or if I get round to it, I will make another video about them so people know what the projects are. Maybe I'll do a very quick cover of what each of the projects is. Now, again, X-Files, we're going to move on. I don't want to get stuck too much today. X-Files are snippets. They're not meant to be huge, great, big, long pieces of information. This is the percentage of interest in blockchain ecosystems according to global traffic. So what are people looking for? What are people looking at? Now, this surprised me because I would have expected a different array of tokens to make up the top. I would have expected Solana to be in the top 3, the top 4, but not have half of the traffic over the first 2.5 months of the year. So Solana is really the one project that people are looking for. And then Ethereum is up there and BNB is up there. Cosmos, remember, Cosmos is an amalgamation of lots of other blockchains connected together. Luna, for example, is connected through the Cosmos. Avalanche is in there, Arbitrum and Base, but I mean, everything pales into significance compared to Solana. Now, over a long period of time, if Solana drives this amount of traffic and this amount of interest, it is going to end up being a lot bigger than it is now. And that includes challenging Ethereum. I'm not saying it's going to happen today, I'm not saying it's happened tomorrow, but there is a potential for it to challenge Ethereum further down the line. Good morning, Lai. Welcome to the stream. Now then, Eric Balchunas, one of my favourite ETF commentators. 21st of March, yesterday, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust lost another $359 million. It's taking a hammering. Now, I've mentioned this before, but if you haven't seen any of our streams before, where have you been? Make sure you like and subscribe and follow. But if you haven't seen these before, one of the things that negates our pumping, if you like, of the price of Bitcoin is the sell pressure put on the price of Bitcoin by the Grayscale the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. I'll get my words out eventually. So what happens is the big 9 or the big 8 buy Bitcoin Monday to Friday. If nobody sells from Grayscale, the price goes up. Grayscale for the last 3 or 4 days have been dumping thousands of Bitcoin a day. They've been selling. Now, this is to do with many things, many reasons we're not going to get into again, but it negates the pump. It sucks that liquidity straight to Grayscale. So when there is additional sell pressure in the market from individuals or whales or whatever selling, it depresses the price. That's why we are not at 72,000 or 71,000 like we were last week before the FUD about the Fed interest rates. When Grayscale stops selling, when enough people have stopped selling, the price of Bitcoin is going to rip to the upside. It is supply and demand. At the minute, the sharks are being fed by Grayscale. When Grayscale runs out of Bitcoin or runs out of people selling Grayscale, the sharks will then turn around and start eating you, all of you. They're going to come after your Bitcoin. So that's why we are seeing this 65, 64, 66, 68,000. It's going to be very difficult to push the price of Bitcoin down to 56,000, in my opinion, right now. We've already had a 20% dip. We know why that happened. We know it was to do with a combination of Grayscale selling, the worry about the Fed. The Fed have already gone dovish, so that's positive news. Grayscale will run out. They only have so many Bitcoin to sell. It's a finite resource. So when the selling stops, the price is going to go up. And all you need to do is not panic and not fold in your hand and give these people who want your Bitcoin, your Bitcoin. Ardo, good morning to you. Remember, wherever you are, say hello. Let me know what you are doing. Now then, sentiment. Here are crypto's top coins by development frequency. This is sorted by counting non-redundant GitHub activity and averaging this daily activity over the last 30 days. So, in simple terms, programmers are constantly building on the different blockchains. They're constantly committing updates to the different blockchains. Now, this is a good list to look at to see which are the most active blockchains in terms of development. And I wasn't expecting this list to be in this order, perfectly honest with you. Chainlink is number 1. I am surprised by that. Cardano is number 2. Again, people fade Cardano. People think that Cardano is a nightmare to build on. They give them all these Reasons not to buy Cardano. Let me ask you some questions. When was the last time Cardano went down? Never. What has Vitalik just admitted yesterday? He's admitted that the proof of stake system, that Ethereum, is going to start to copy the Cardano proof of stake system. So the second biggest blockchain in the world is copying Cardano's proof of stake. Cardano is stable. It has everything you need on a blockchain, and it has the second most development going on. Now, development is a precursor to production and go live, whatever you want to call it. So what you're seeing here is like a sneak preview of what's going to happen in 6 or 12 months' time. So Optimism, Cardano, Chainlink, other ones on there you might hear of, Polkadot, for example. Not a fan, but there we go. All of these projects are building faster and on a more sustained basis in the last 30 days than anybody else. We don't know what they're building, but they are building. And it's always useful to see this list, to see, because there's things on here. Where is Solana? Solana is not here. Solana's not in the top 10. So has Solana left its development cycle and moved on? Who knows? But Link and ADA in particular, they are starting to make moves. So don't forget that that's happening in the background, because that will always indicate that those blockchains are about to launch something new. Now then, HODL 15, I just mentioned Grayscale Trust. Grayscale have only got 350,000 Bitcoin left. So they have sold 270,000 Bitcoin into the market, which has been primarily bought up by BlackRock. They've only got 350,000 left. If they sell at, let's say, 5,000 Bitcoin a day, 25,000 Bitcoin a week, because they only trade 5 days a week, they have 10 or 11 weeks left of Bitcoin to sell. But as you probably are fully aware, they're never going to end up selling 350,000 Bitcoin, because at some point the people selling are going to stop. So conservatively, we could say 300,000 Bitcoin will stay with Grayscale. So what does that mean? That means there's probably 10 more days, 2 more weeks of sell pressure left from Grayscale. That's it. Once that sell pressure goes, those 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 Bitcoin a day that are being bought up are going to go to BlackRock, Fidelity, and everything else. And what's going to happen to the price? If 6,000 or 7,000 Bitcoin a day are being bought every single day, Monday to Friday, where's the price going to go? It's going to go north. And it will only stop going north when the price of Bitcoin finds a place where the sell and buy pressure meet. And we are nowhere near it. The reason that we haven't got an $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 Bitcoin at the minute is because of the Grayscale sell-off. 270,000 has been sold in nearly 2 months. That's let's call it 120,000 a month, 130,000 a month. It's incredible. So just bear in mind, it will come to an end, and then the price is going to absolutely skyrocket. And that's not Moon Boy predictions. It's the fact we're talking about. We have 20 million Bitcoin to play with. That's it. And already, if you take what the ETFs hold, what MicroStrategy hold, you combine them all together, there's not a lot to play with. We're probably going to go under 1.5 million Bitcoin in circulation in the next 6 to 12 months on exchanges, that is. And that's when it's really going to start to become a struggle for these ETFs. Because remember, they have to buy them. They have to buy the ETFs at spot price. So they're going to struggle. Anyway, let's move on. BlackRock debuts Build. We're going to call it Build, even though it's buoyed. Its first tokenized fund on Ethereum. Now, I've told a few good friends about this already, but I want to kind of just go through things. Which one is the best meme coin for investment, Delaware. One thing I will say, I will never tell you what coins to buy. That is one thing I will never do. However, I will point you in the direction of CoinMarketCap, and I will tell you to type in the top right-hand corner, meme. I'll click on categories, click on memes, and that gives you all of the meme coins on here, and you can see them all. And my advice, which is not financial, is try and look at meme coins which are under $1 billion. Now, Book of Meme, I made a video about it last week. I told people about this again yesterday, but I made a video last week, told people not to buy it because it was overvalued. It was at 1.45 billion. Said the price was going to retrace. It did. It came down to 1.1 cent. I then told everybody yesterday that might be a good time to buy Book of Meme yesterday. And Book of Meme has gone up 42% since I told you to buy. And did I buy any? Yes, I did. Now, I'm not telling you to buy Book of Meme because it's already pumped. I'm telling you that these coins around this level are the ones that could potentially pump up to these prices. You could call it a lottery, you could call it gambling, you could call it whatever you want. But if you're looking at Pepe and Dog with Hat, where are those coins going to go? Have they reached their critical mass for this stage of the market? Maybe. If you go down here and you look at Marga, for example, is Marga likely to go up over the next 6 months because of the elections in America? I'd say pretty much it will go up. If you look at Slurf, it's a new token. Could that have a pump? Possibly. Book of Meme, is that going to go back up over 2 cents? Possibly. Bonk's kind of slid down a little bit. Could that have another run? Possibly. So go and look at meme coins on CoinMarketCap and then go and do your own research. I'm never going to tell you which meme coin to buy. What I will say is don't put any money in meme coins that you're not willing to lose. They could go to zero. They could go to a 99% loss on what you put in. You put $100 in and it goes to the wall. You could be left with $1, $2, $3. They are a gamble. I'm never going to say put anything more than 1% of your portfolio into memes. Now then, talking about something where you probably want to invest some of your money in the future, not financial advice, BlackRock has launched its first tokenized fund powered by the Ethereum blockchain. You did hear that right. BlackRock has launched its first tokenized fund powered by the Ethereum blockchain. This is monumental news. BlackRock, for those of you that haven't seen us before, they want to tokenize every asset in the world. Buildings, artwork, stocks, bonds, everything. They want to tokenize it all. The stock market in the UK, Europe and America, where does it trade? 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 at night. The Singapore Stock Exchange isn't open at the same time as the London Stock Exchange, which isn't open at the same time as the S&P. Funnily enough, there is a 1 hour overlap across them. So they kind of do cover it in 24 hours, but they don't. You know, some stocks are on here, some stocks are on there. Now, what does BlackRock want to do? They want to create a worldwide 24/7 stock exchange where you can trade assets night and day wherever you are in the world, and they will take the commission. That's what they want to do. So Build was seeded with $100 million after BlackRock filed with the SEC, and it was launched on March the 15th. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this, but we'll just pick a few things out. The tokenization of Build allows for the issuance and trading of fund shares on the blockchain, offering benefits such as immediate settlement, enhanced liquidity, and broadening the appeal to more global investor base. So they want to basically take over the stock exchanges, all of them. They want a piece of that pie. This is why you're going to end up with multiple crypto ETFs. At the minute, they have the Bitcoin ETF. And as we've said, today, Bitcoin dominance is 51%. So at the minute, they have a very large chunk of 51% of the crypto market. They want 100% of the crypto market. They want Ethereum, they want Solana, they want Cardano, they want XRP, they want it all. So they're going to get it. They're going to get their own ETFs. What else do they want? They want to control stocks and shares, property, other types of investment, gold. They want it all. So if they build a digital tokenized version of it on Ethereum, what's that going to do? It's going to give you 24/7 access to every commodity and asset in the world. Why would you use a stock exchange? You wouldn't. You would use BlackRock. So they are going to become the biggest financial powerhouse the world has ever seen, which comes with its own risks, and we haven't got time for that. Now, how it works is you buy $100 and the value of the token stays at $1. But what you do is you get a percentage paid as a dividend. I think it's every month. So if you put $100 in, you'll get 100 tokens. The dividend paid out to you, let's say it's 5%. By the end of year one, you will have 105 tokens. You won't have 100 tokens worth $1.05. They're doing it and they're keeping the value to $1. That's what they're doing. Now, the minimum investment is $5 million, so you and I will not be able to buy in right now. However, this is simply to temper demand. If they offered this to everybody tomorrow, they'd probably have a $100 billion fund by the end of the year. It would be that easy. So keep an eye on this one. It's breaking news. It's only just come out in the last few days. I know it said the 15th of March, but this was kind of only announced on Wednesday. And I didn't really have enough information to tell you about it yesterday. So it's a tokenized fund on Ethereum built by BlackRock. Now, if that's not a seal of approval for Ethereum, I don't know what is. Because they certainly didn't build it on Solana. They certainly didn't build it on Cardano or any other blockchain. They built it on Ethereum. So that should tell you where institutional money wants, or what institutional money wants to use. And that is Ethereum. Solana will probably end up being for retail. Ethereum will probably be used by institutions more and more. Now, we are way behind. So we are going to get a move on with this. Remember, smash the like button. Remember to follow us. Bottom left-hand corner, we're at 110,000 followers across our different channels. We're trying to get to 200,000 by the end of the year. So it doesn't cost you anything to give us a follow, and we would greatly appreciate it. So then, moving on, Crypto Expert reveals the possibility of Bitcoin reaching $500,000. Now, for those of you that have never seen me before, I do look at all of these. We look at the ones where they predict $20,000. We look at the ones where they predict $100,000. We look at them because we can gain an insight into how they think we're going to get there. It's always good to look at every side and see what we can take from it. So that's why we look at these. I am not saying for 1 second we're going to go anywhere near $500,000. I'm saying it's good to see where they think we are going to go. So crypto experts and analysts have given their opinions on how Bitcoin could rise in this bull cycle, with some opining that the flagship crypto could rise as high as 237,000. Now, this expert says 500,000. It's Michael van der Pop. I think I covered him yesterday or the day before. On the road to 500,000, he noted that corrections will happen and they will be rough. He believes that this shouldn't deter investors, but serve as a giant buying opportunity. Wow. So what does he say? Where is it? The most ambitious Bitcoin price prediction is still from Jan 3 CEO and Bitcoin at Samson Mao. He predicts that Bitcoin could hit $1 million this year. Well, he has been smoking something. He alluded to the imbalance between BTC's demand and supply, which is why he believes the flagship crypto token can reach such heights. Now, I do agree with this here. we have a disconnect because of the ETFs. They are buying. Imagine you've got a little greengrocer on a high street and you're used to selling your fruit and veg for £1 a kilo or $1 a kilo. And then suddenly somebody builds a tower block and puts 500 people in that tower block, which is twice as many people that live on your street. And suddenly they're coming in and they're buying all your fruit and veg every day. You've got two options because you can't get any more fruit and veg in your shop. You put the price up or you run out. They're your two options as a greengrocer. Now, yes, you're going to run out, but then you're going to put the price up. So that $1 per kilo of potatoes or oranges that you sell, you start to sell it for $3 and $5, but you keep selling out. So then you sell it for $10. And suddenly you become the most expensive greengrocer in the world because you're selling your fruit and veg for $50. That is where we are with Bitcoin. The ETFs have come along to your little village high street and have built a tower block and filled it full of people, and they are eating your fruit and veg. You've got none left. So the price has to go up. I don't care what anybody is telling you about a $20,000 Bitcoin. It is not going to happen. There are too many Bitcoin being bought by the institutions. And I know we've had a price correction. It was partly FUD, the sell-off of Grayscale. Grayscale are running out of Ethereum. At some point, we are going to see an interest rate cut in May or June. We're going to see the halving in April. What does the halving do? 900 a day becomes 450 a day. So your fruit and veg that you're selling from your shop, your suppliers just told you can now only have 50 kilos of potatoes a day and not 100. But you've still got the same number of people buying the potatoes off you. So what happens to the price then? What happens when interest rates get cut? It gives people more money. So people coming into your shop have more money to buy your fruit and veg. You have less fruit and veg to sell. You have to push the price up. There is no other way around it. And you have a finite supply. And I'm going to go blue in the face telling you this. Don't sell, and it's not financial advice, of course, don't sell your Bitcoin because it is going to absolutely rocket. One day, in the very near future, we are going to have a $10,000 God candle. And that day will happen when there is not enough Bitcoin on exchanges to meet the demand of BlackRock or Fidelity or ARK Invest. It doesn't matter what anybody else tells you, it's going to happen one day. We've just seen a $6,000 candle this week. That was caused by Chairman Powell. That wasn't caused by massive supply and demand issues. We're going to see a God candle. We might never come back from that God candle. When these ETFs start to hold 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million Bitcoin, 10% of the supply, potentially, it's gone and it will never come back. And the only time it will come back is when Bitcoin is at a ridiculous price. And you will look back at a 50,000 Bitcoin and laugh. You'll look back and say, I cannot believe Bitcoin was $50,000. When you're sitting there in your pool that's gold coated and you've got champagne coming out of the spouts. I cannot believe Bitcoin is $50,000. That's where we are. And I'm not selling you a pipe dream because Bitcoin has a finite supply and these ETFs have changed the game. And there's no other way to say it. They've changed the game. And at some point, yes, they will start to sell. People are going to start selling their Bitcoin from the ETFs. But when is that going to happen? People are not going to buy a $60,000 Bitcoin and flip it at $80,000. Why would they want to make 30% profit on an asset that's appreciating at such a rate? Are they going to sell at $100,000? Probably. We're probably going to have a massive sell wall at $100,000. But when the $100,000 mark breaks, where do we go then? 150? 200? Is 200 going to be the next massive line in the sand? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But you then start to look in multiples. 100, 200, 250, 500. They all become huge numbers. At the minute, we're talking about 70, 75, 80. Multiples of 5,000. jumps of 5,000. In the future, we're going to be talking about jumps of 10,000, because the difference between 105 and 110,000 is negligible. The difference between 65 and 75 is more, even though it's the same amount, or it's, 5,000-10,000. Percentage-wise, it's more of a jump. So don't sell your Bitcoin when people out there are buying it up at 7, 8, 9, 10,000 Bitcoin a day, because at some point it's going to run out. And you're going to be sitting there with this Bitcoin that they want, and they have to bribe you. They have to say, how much do you want for your Bitcoin? And that day is coming. It's not going to be tomorrow. Might be in 1, 2, 3 years' time, when sovereign states start buying Bitcoin, when the oil magnates start buying Bitcoin, if they haven't already started. It will become a race to collect all the Bitcoin together. However, it's not going to hit $1 million this year. Not a chance. So he thinks that we're going to hit $1 million. We haven't got a chance of hitting $1 million. And there isn't really a lot in here about why he's going to hit $1 million. So I think what we'll do, we'll very quickly have a look at the chart. Because I think we've broken down since I came on air. We were at 65.5, I think, when we started the stream. What we are now, 64 something? 65. So we've come down a little bit. Right, so very briefly, because we're going to run out of time and I want to get on to the rest of the show. We came up, this line here was, I believe, somewhere around about our previous all-time high. What did we do? We've wicked up, we've come down, and now we're in this range, which is between about 62.4 and 68. It's a fairly big range at the minute. There's not really a lot else to look at on this. This is the weekly chart. The RSI is cooling down on the weekly chart. If we go to daily, again, these are all good signs. RSI is coming down. When was the last time RSI was down here? What happened? Price goes up. Doesn't necessarily mean price is going to go up, but the RSI is now down to a reasonable level. 50 is a reasonable level. When you start to look at 70, 80 on the RSI, it's a bit high, especially on the daily. 4 hour, again, we're down just a tad. So potentially we could see a good end of the week. And if not a good end of the week, maybe we carry this into the weekend and maybe we go for a run next week and maybe we go up. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if I had to give odds on what the price would be next Friday, and the odds were 75,000 or 60,000. I'd say we've got a 75% chance of getting up over 70,000 next week, because the Grayscale Trust sell-off is probably going to come to an end sooner rather than later, and they are going to slash their fees. And they've admitted that they're going to slash their fees. They came out and said it on Tuesday. Their fees are going to be slashed. So at that point, all of the sell pressure will be gone. So that's why I would say 75,000 is more likely the end of next week than, say, 60,000. And again, I don't want to harp on about this, but we do have a fair amount of support around this level. You know, this line here, we came down and touched. We've broken it once, but, you know, this was our resistance here. We did wick below it here, yes. And we did wick very briefly below it here. But if we do come down, I think 62,000 is the level we'll come down to. And if we do come back down to 62,000, then maybe we will look up. I mean, the chart isn't looking super happy on this 4 hour, in all honesty, but I just don't think we're going to see, you know, maybe we do this before moving back up and come down to 62, or maybe we hold the line here at 65. Haven't got a crystal ball, but I am bullish next week on Bitcoin, especially. Not so much on Ethereum, but I gave my reasons why yesterday. The SEC are after them. but we haven't got time to talk about that. Thank you, Deleve, for the follow. Much appreciated. Now then, we're going to move on because we're running out of time. 20 minutes left, and we've still got an awful lot of ranting to go through. So then, after a massive bounce from Bitcoin, crypto analyst breaks down 2 rebounding altcoins. Now, we're going to focus on one of these, not both of them, because the show, we intend to do it in an hour, and it does overrun a little bit. But if I did everything I wanted to do in a show, these would be 2-hour shows every day. And we have a YouTube channel, we make videos on that YouTube channel, and those videos generate us money. So I have to balance off the live show with making videos. So everything we do is in an hour, and we are Crypto Warehouse. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out what we're called on YouTube. So then, a widely followed crypto analyst is breaking down the digital asset markets after the latest rebound. Let me have a look at the 2 coins. Massive bounce on Bitcoin, initiating continuation here. I think we'll be consolidating, and given the strong bounce, have another run at all-time high pre-halving. Now, I don't disagree with that at all. I think there's certain people on crypto Twitter that will sell you the moon, and there are people that will tell you that Bitcoin is going to be at $1 million by the end of the year. There are other influencers that say that coins will do 10x by the end of the year without any real foundation. And when you have a swift move up and down with Bitcoin especially, that's normally followed by a period of consolidation. It's like shell shock. We've had this wick down, we've had this wick up, and now if we spend the entire weekend at 64, 63, 65,000, I'd be happy, because it just gives us time to reset the RSI, compose ourselves, and then move up. I don't like to see so much volatility in Bitcoin, especially now we've also deleveraged, we've got rid of all the shorts and all the longs. It's just nice to have a breather. Now, when Bitcoin has a breather, alts get a chance to make a comeback. Now, memes, we've already covered to death on this channel this week, and we're not going to look at them, but we are going to look at a coin that I am a big fan of, and that coin is Chainlink. So, great retest on Link, through which I think we will continue to move upwards from here. The BTC pair is on a cycle low. Now, we're not going to look at the Link BTC pair. Link is trading at 1860. Now, remember, Link was over $20 not long ago, 2 weeks ago. I think we're going to go and have a look at Link. We're not going to look at Sui. I do hold Sui. For the record, I do hold Sui, not a lot. And I do hold Link. I've probably got 4 times the amount of... Actually, have I? I don't know anymore. I've got a bigger bag of Link than I have of Sui. And Sui, for me, great project, but it needs adoption. And that adoption can come. It's a new blockchain. I think it only started, I don't even know, was it last August, last September? It's very, very new. It's playing catch up, of course, because new chains need a good year, 2 years to actually build up any kind of user base, anything like that. So then, where are we with my favorite, one of my favorite projects? Why is Link good? Because it's the biggest oracle by a country mile. It's bigger than all of the other oracles combined. It has all of the real world use cases being worked on. It's kind of like, so Polygon is the top layer 2 on Ethereum. It's been around for a long time and it's been building, and it might not be building in the public eye, but it's been building. Chainlink is the biggest oracle. It's been around for a long time. It's spent a lot of time building. And if you look at the price, and we're not going to go over this, this is the kill zone for me. This is the zone where you pick up Link. And that was $5 to $8. I bought mine, as I think I've said to you many times here, I bought mine here, which was about $6. Chainlink is the biggest oracle. Chainlink is going to create the most secure way of connecting blockchains. We have the AG layer from Polygon as well, but for me, Chainlink has not quite an insurmountable lead, but it's like Ethereum. It's been around for so long, it already has so many partners, and the revenue generation of Chainlink is going to be obscene. And that's important. Why have a business if it doesn't make any money? Chainlink is going to make bags of cash, and bags of cash over time will accrue value in the project, and that will be reflected in the price of the token. So if you don't hold any Link, I would strongly recommend going and looking at the project. It really isn't very exciting. It's not quite like going to the dentist, but it's not far off. It's a technical project. It's a project that facilitates the interoperability of blockchains and off-chain assets. It can connect to Visa and MasterCard. It can help layer 1s connect to layer 2s securely. It's got a massive use case. The price, if you look here, this price we're at now is a great price. It's got previous history. We came up, if you look here, this is the weekly, by the way. We'll go down a little bit further. We've come up, we've had a little bit of support there. We've whipped down to this price before. We've come back down like every coin has had, and guess where we are? We're at this price. We are at $18. Now, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would look at a move up to this level here, which funnily enough is exactly $20. So I would expect Chainlink to look at $20. This $22 range, no idea why this price is in here or why this line is in here, but there we go. I must have put it in here for a reason. So $20 for me is the target for Link. That's a 10% move. Yes, it's not huge, but it's a solid project. Of all the projects we cover on this channel, I have got confidence in certain projects reaching certain market caps. Ones which are above and beyond one use case, and Chainlink for me should be hitting somewhere in the region of $100 plus. Once everything rolls out and once people see how much money it can make, it's going to generate billions of dollars a year. That is going to go into the ecosystem, and you're going to hold those tokens, and this is going to rip. It doesn't have a competitor anywhere near it. Again, if we go over here, we told you how to type in meme, go to categories, we go to oracles. So, Chainlink, market cap 10.6 billion. We're going to ignore Bitenza because it's not really an oracle in my opinion. Pyth, therefore, is the next on the list, 1.3, 1.4 billion. So it's a tenth of the size of Chainlink. Chainlink is massive, absolutely huge. Now, I am not saying that there isn't going to be another oracle coming from left field. Maybe Pyth has an absolute massive rip. Maybe Pyth gets up to the market cap. It might be at the market cap, but Chainlink has all the connections. So by the time Pyth, in my opinion, by the time Pyth gets to 10 billion, Chainlink is likely to be at 40 billion, 50 billion, because we're now talking about bull run numbers. So for me, Chainlink, 14th ranked coin in the world. Take out the stable coins, it's probably 11th or 10th. It warrants that position. We go down here, there's nothing near it. There's nothing anywhere near it. It dominates, and if it dominates, that means that all of the money is going to go to it. The same way that Ethereum is going to get all the institutional projects being built on it, Chainlink will be part of that conversation. So don't fade Chainlink, it's going to rip. And even if you're getting it at $18 or $20, it doesn't really matter, because in the long term, you're going to make a decent return on that project. 5x, 6x, 10x, whatever it might be. Now then, Charles. Good old Charles. He's been in the news quite a lot recently, and the reason he's been in the news is he's not controversial. That's not the right word. He's not outspoken either. He speaks his mind, and his mind has what I would consider to be forthright opinions. So he's given his 2030 forecast So he's looked into his crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball because I don't have the facial hair of Charles Hoskinson. He has the facial hair of a gladiator. He has predicted, in a surprising departure from the usual discourse surrounding blockchain tech, Charles, the visionary founder of Cardano, recently made a groundbreaking prediction that transcends the boundaries of the crypto world. On the 20th of March, he took to X and posted, "Here is my prediction. By 2030, we will be able to run a model 1,000 times more powerful than the Mixtral on a gaming PC due to specialized hardware and model optimization." His fascination with AI is long-standing, evidenced by his insightful predictions regarding the emergence of performance-driven open-source models. Cardano remains at the forefront of blockchain innovation, exemplified by its steadfast pursuit of improvement. Now, one thing Charles could do is introduce AI to Cardano and get it publicized. Then Cardano would be sitting at $5. But Cardano is not Charles is not interested in the price of Cardano, really. He doesn't. Obviously, he would care if it went to a cent, but he doesn't really care if it's at 60 cents, 80 cents, $1. He's more interested about building for the long term and building a project that will work. So the recent node release highlights Cardano's dedication to progress, with updates enhanced network functionality, including enhancements like Genesis Lite, bootstrap peers, dynamic block forging logic, and transaction certification within Mithril networks. So I don't know why Cardano isn't seen in the same sexy light as Solana. Solana is like, it's just got the mobile phone, it's got the meme coins, it's got the culture. Anatoly is quite a entertaining character. You know, it's got a lot going for it. It's cheap and it's quick. You know, people don't really care if it goes down once a year. Generally don't care. So Solana grabs the headlines. Cardano is fronted by a man in glasses with a beard who's going slightly bald that takes cold baths and looks for alien relics. It's not quite the same as Solana. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Charles, but he needs a guru to come on board and actually like sex up Cardano. Okay, so Cardano's roadmap intersects in a very important way with a strong focus on identity, partner chains, and our unique programming model involving Yextro. Now, long and short of this is Cardano is building an ecosystem that challenges problems that we've got on more than one scale: healthcare, education, governmental issues. It's working with law enforcement. It's also on-chain. It's working with connecting Cardano to the Ethereum layer 2s. It's looking at AI. It's looking at DeFi. All of these things should indicate a $1.50, $2 Cardano, and they're not. But what we say on this channel is don't chase tornadoes. We know Solana is ripping. We know Avalanche is ripping. But especially with regards to XRP as well, these are not bad coins. These are incredibly good projects that are going to change the future of the world. They are not going to fade like other coins in the past have faded. They're too well built out. And Charles and Cardano are building something which other blockchains want to tap into and want to steal from. So just because ADA hasn't done the 10x or whatever it is of Solana, it doesn't make ADA a bad coin. And you should consider holding some ADA, and you should consider holding some XRP, as well as Solana, as well as Chainlink and Avalanche and Ethereum. You should have a bag of 8 to 10 really good layer 1s and layer 2s across different kind of industries or market segments, we're going to call them. So whether it be Oracle, whether it be AI, whether it be layer 1s, whether it be layer 2s, whether it be dApps, it doesn't matter. You just have to make sure you're diversified, because not every horse runs the same race. That sounds really good. Now I'm going to make a note of that. That sounds very prophetic. Not every horse runs the same race. What a cracker that one is. All right then, so let us move on to the price. So again, where are we with Cardano? It's got its own support band here. It's been doing a really nice job. This is on the weekly again, by the way. Really good job of doing this. Now, again, I'd expect that kind of movement. Put us back up towards 75 cents. 62 cents for Cardano is a great price. I think we will be looking at $5 to $8 for Cardano, and I think we hit $3 in the previous bull run. Let me go and have a look. What did we get to in the previous bull run? Was it about $3? We got to $3.06 in the previous bull run. I think conservatively $5 to $8 in this bull run. We are more built out than we were. Inflation hasn't been massive on the Cardano blockchain. It's making nice movements up in terms of its price. It's not going up in a straight line. I think Cardano will do well. Now, I'm not saying it's going to do the most gains. You know, I'm sure if we started from January last year and we go all the way through to December 2025, the biggest gainer is going to be Solana, because Solana was starting at $8 and $10 and $12. Solana's already at $170. So Solana's already done a 13x, whereas Cardano, I believe, has probably done a 3x, 2x, 3x. So Solana's going to win the race. We know that. But it doesn't mean that Cardano can't move on and go places. Now then, 11.57. Look at that. We're nearly done. We are nearly done. Just give me 1 second. One minute. Okay then, so Nvidia's CEO, simple solution to AI hallucination could upend crypto, but only if it works. Now, I made a video, don't know how long ago actually, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, talking about AI hallucinations and Fetch. And Fetch and Singularity have come together to try and fix this problem. I'm not going to go through the problem in great depth. I'm going to go through the article and hopefully it will pick it up. But hallucinations in AI is where AI imagines things. It hallucinates. So if you ask it to show you a particular thing, it will generate something that doesn't quite match what you've asked for, because it's hallucinated it. It's imagined the wrong thing. And it's a problem in AI in general. It's not a problem with Nvidia or anything else like that. It's just a generic problem in AI. And if I was going to put money on somebody solving it, it would be Fetch and Singularity. They're AI specialists. Nvidia, we all know, 5th or 6th biggest company in the world. Huge revenues, huge profits. Their AI NPCs that they're going to put into games are going to change the world of gaming. So I'm not fading Nvidia. I'm saying I would want to back AI projects to solve it over Nvidia. But Jensen Huang, or Huang, his solution is already out there, and AI systems still hallucinate. So he recently went on record to say that it was his belief that human-level artificial intelligence will probably be realized within the next 5 years, and hallucinations, one of the field's biggest challenges, will be simple to solve. His comments came during a speech at the NVIDIA GTC Developers Conference in San Jose, California on March 20th. Now, remember, this is one of the reasons that Near Protocol has absolutely ripped in the last couple of weeks, is they are closely aligned with NVIDIA. During the event's keynote speech, he addressed the idea of AGI. Now, AGI also causes a lot of problems. So AI, you could have an AI bot that makes you logos. You can have an AI bot that trades for you. Artificial general intelligence is the scary Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back type of AI. The ones where we get taken over. And if you listen to some of the experts, once AGI is really created, we've got 10 years left before they take over the world. So, or maybe is it 5 years before they take over the world? It's not a long time. So AGI is a worry. Now, this also goes on to the Elon Musk OpenAI SAM problem. In SAM has sold all the tech to Microsoft. It's not open source anymore. AI is a huge can of worms. So if we specified AGI to be something very specific, a set of tests where a software program can do very well, or maybe 8% better than most people, I believe we will get there within 5 years. It's unclear exactly what kind of test he was referring to. The term general in the context of AI refers to a system that, regardless of the benchmark, is capable of anything a human of average intelligence could do given sufficient resources. So hallucinations is an unintended result of training large language models to act as generative AI systems. Hallucinations occur when AI models output new, usually incorrect information that isn't contained in its dataset. I've got to be very careful what I say on here, because the Google AI issues that they've had have been to do with race and gender, and it's just got them wrong. And the reason it's got them wrong is it's called GISGO, and that's garbage in, sophisticated garbage out. So if you tell something to do something in a certain way, it will do it. So when you have AI which isn't neutral because you've programmed it not to be neutral, you end up with skewed results. You just have to type in Google AI examples funny or something like that into Google and it will show you them. The AI shouldn't just answer, it should do research first to determine which of the answers are best. So Gemini was a disaster. ChatGPT is better, but it's still a disaster. I think Elon Musk has got his own called Grok, and he's got something else coming out as well. So hallucinations are a problem, but hallucinations are a man-made problem as well as being an AI problem, because we've told it a certain set of rules which are either politically based or culturally based, and that isn't how AI should work. AI should be completely neutral. So he thinks he's going to fix this problem. It's an interesting topic to look at. And again, if you're interested in AI tokens, for example, if we go back here, again, for the third time, we're going to show you this. Give me 1 second. You type AI into CoinMarketCap, you go to categories, and you look at, for example, generative AI. Let's look at that one as a difference. So generative AI, you have render, which is the big one. Now render's 10x'd recently. So render is up there, fetch is up there, singularity is up there. What other ones were worth looking at on here? Ocean Protocol's worth looking at. And further down, I'm not too sure any of these I've looked at because they're a lot smaller. ChainGPT, again, I've held that token for a while and then I sold out of that token. So, but ChatGPT isn't bad as well. So you can go and do your own research. Don't rely on some random bloke on the internet telling you what tokens to buy. And I don't just mean me, I mean in general. Go and do your own research. And the best way to do your own research is to start with something like CoinMarketCap. Start with the search bar. So if you are incredibly into something, let's say music. So if you're into music, this can be my final thought because we've just gone over. So let's say you're into music and you want to invest in music related coins, or you don't know what crypto related music coins there are. You type in music and it will show you all of the projects which are to do with music. Now, they're not huge projects. Audius, I think I held Audius 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and then sold it. Audius is the big one, and there was a big fanfare about using crypto to reward artists for their music in a better way, and it became a big thing. I think Audius really did shoot up at some point, and then obviously came back down. Let me go and have a look at the chart for Audius. Here we go. Right, so if we go back over a period of time, it was way up here. So three years ago, it was up at $3.60. Again, when new projects come on board, whether it be AI or music, they will ramp up, especially during the bull run, and they will peak and they will come back down. Now, there is no reason to think that Audius isn't going to have a good run, but that's not the point of this. The point is to show you how you can do your own research. Anything you want to type in the top right hand corner, you could type in Bitcoin, go to categories, Bitcoin ecosystem, another one. Again, it shows you all of the tokens associated with Bitcoin. You've got Audi, you've got Stacks, as we've mentioned down here. ICP is connected up. You've got, I'm trying to think of what others down here that I recognize. Don't recognize any of them. Don't recognize any of the lower ones. But over time, this list will grow, especially with projects like Zeus Network. Again, I've made a video on our YouTube channel about that. Zeus Network is going to be in this list at some point. Remember, the token launches on the 4th of April. So we are still 2 weeks away from that. And if you voted on the Jupiter DAO, you're going to get those tokens for free. They will be locked in. Don't forget, they are locked in for a while, but then you'll be able to unlock them. So that's really it. It is 7 minutes past 12. I always start the show and think I'm never going to be able to get through all of this in the amount of time that I have. And you know what? We have. We've got through it. We've got to the end of the show. So a big thank you to everybody who has been watching, who's tuned in. I hope I've answered some of your questions, if not all of your questions today. So that's really it. I don't have anything else to add. I'll give one thing. So the Crypto Warehouse poll of the day. Which one are we going to see first? $70,000 or $60,000? 57% said 70,000 and 43% said 60,000. That's quite a close poll. That's only really maybe 1 vote or 2 votes in it. So anyway, that's it. Thank you all for watching and taking part. Greatly appreciate it. I am going to drop a quick thank you box because you know what? It's a Friday, so why not? So I'm going to drop a comment to win box now. Now, tomorrow we are back at 11 o'clock and we are back in the office or the studio or whatever you want to call it. We'll be streaming from the office tomorrow. Myself and Brogan, the Oracle, will be with me 11 o'clock tomorrow. So if you are watching this, we are back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. It's in one of the calendars. Unfortunately, one of the platforms that we stream on, I can only put them in one at a time. So after this stream, I will go and add tomorrow's stream to your platform so you can go and follow us on there. And next week, Wednesday next week, penciled in, we might have an AMA. We might have an AMA next week to talk about crypto regulation. It's not a project that's going to be launched. It's an education show. So it's how regulators think about crypto, and you might learn something from it. But it'll be next Wednesday night, maybe it's 7 o'clock. We haven't confirmed it. We'll confirm it this weekend and put it in the calendar. I've already made the thumbnail for it. So next Wednesday, we should have an AMA. Next week, Monday to Saturday, we will stream at 11 o'clock anyway. Brogan does a live trading stream on Monday night as well at 9 o'clock. So if you want to learn how to trade, follow us and watch that stream on Monday. I did tell you last week to watch, and a few more of you did. But if you want to learn to trade, don't ask me. I'm not a trader. You want to ask Brogan. He understands the charts. We've even got our own indicator for TradingView called Simple Significance that we've written ourselves, and it works a charm. And we can give that to you for free. But of course, to do that, you have to follow us and take part. That's it. That's the longest outro I've done in days. Have a great Friday. Go outside. I'm not going outside here because it's raining, but go outside wherever you are. If it's not raining, breathe in some fresh air, relax. It's the weekend. What better way to start the weekend than listening to me, eh? I mean, really, what else could you be doing on a Friday morning? Tartarland, thank you to you as well. I will see you all in the morning. Take care.